You need to really understand who you are talking to when you create that content. But as you heard me mention with Pinterest, we have templates. That's how you make this process seamless and easy. But when you are focusing on one task and doing it over and over again, that's where you're gonna see that productivity increase. Quick question, do you have a content plan that A, doesn't stress and overwhelm you, and B, actually drives revenue to your business? Meaning, when you create content, you see your business making money? If your content isn't doing A or B, and you're having a hard time just juggling getting content out and following a content plan, let me dive into the first steps you need to take to creating a doable content strategy for you. My name is Trina. If you are new here and you want to learn about getting your content organized and planned in advance so you can make more money in your business, make sure you subscribe to my channel because that's kind of my jam. According to HubSpot's Not Another State of Marketing report, almost 70% of business owners are investing in a content marketing plan. So how can yours stand out against everybody else's and not burn you out? Let me run through the steps that you can start implementing today in your content marketing plan. So it will actually help you build your business and grow your business revenue. And at the end, I'm actually going to show you how to come up with more content ideas. So if you've been struggling with even coming up with ideas to create content around, I got you covered today. First, I've said this about YouTube channels many of times before, but this holds true to your content marketing plan as well. You need to really understand who you are talking to when you create that content. And I'm not just talking about women ages 24 to 54 who live in the Northeast. That is demographics. I want you to get deeper here and think about the psychographics of your audience. What problems do they have? How can you relate to them? What types of foods, drinks, TV shows do they enjoy? Because the more you can start thinking like them, the more you can start creating content that is going to grab their attention and make them feel seen. The more you can start weaving these things into the content you're creating, the more they will feel like they have a friendship with you. And the more excited they will be to engage with you, learn more about you, and even share your content. All right, so I have a challenge here for you. Start thinking about things you can start incorporating into the content you're creating that your audience likes, to make a connection with them and to entertain them. That's why we hear about storytelling all the time, because it creates this connection and it makes us feel like we know each other. So for example, for me, I know a lot of my audience is women who are having kids, have kids, and they're trying to manage their business as well. So I talk about my Zen time is with a glass of red wine, watching any season of Real Housewives, how I balance or deal with doing my business and virtual kindergarten these days, and my struggle with trying to come up with a hobby that isn't my business. Because if you're watching me, you could probably really relate to those three things, right? So just sit down and start writing down things that your audience could connect with you about. That's also why these whole Bachelor podcasts and these Bachelor review YouTube channels blow up, because that's something people are connecting with. That's something that people like to talk about. They love to find people who like to talk about those things. So you need to find a way, like I said, to incorporate these types of things that you enjoy talking about in your content to make that connection. The second thing you need to do to create a sustainable content marketing plan is pick one pillar piece of content. So for me, that is my YouTube video. That is something that comes out every single week without fail. Now, I did take a week off recently, but this is my big, meaty, chunky piece of content every single week. This is the content that's going to drive more leads to my business. This is the content that I'm going to use to be able to reach more people. This is my must for my business every single week. Now for you, it could be your YouTube video. It could be a really long, good blog post. It could be a podcast episode, but it needs to be that one piece of content each week that's going to get your audience's attention and give them huge value. This also means you don't have to create this massive piece of content for every single social platform out there. Yes, you can breathe now because you're not creating so much content for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, because what you can do is take your pillar piece of content and repurpose it in as many places as possible. Whether you're using clips from your YouTube video, whether you're posting your entire YouTube video over on Instagram TV, or if you did that blog blog post, maybe you're taking chunks of that blog post and putting it on an Instagram caption, or your podcast, you're taking a clip of the sound and putting it on a Instagram story. This is using the content that you're creating and using it smarter. This is the concept of repurposing, right? You're taking one piece of content and repurposing it in as many places as possible. Let me just run through some of the ways we repurpose this particular video you're watching right now. So this is a YouTube video. We'll take clips of this for Instagram stories. We will put a piece of it on Instagram TV. We will put a piece of it on Facebook. We'll put a piece of it on LinkedIn. We will create 5 Pinterest graphics. We already have the templates. We just have to change out the title. We will take the transcripts and create a blog post. We will then take chunks of that blog post and put it into Instagram posts. We will also send chunks of this video out to our email newsletter. And we've recently been repurposing these videos into Instagram Reels. 10 pieces of content from this YouTube video. But as you heard me mention with Pinterest, we have templates. That's how you make this process seamless and easy. We already have Pinterest templates inside of Canva. We already have Instagram story templates inside of Canva. We already have Instagram carousel templates inside of Canva. So all we have to do is switch out the text for whatever in this particular video. And this is something that you can easily start to outsource to somebody else. Once you create the templates, it doesn't take a lot for someone to learn how to recreate these every single week. Your go-to marketing plan for 2021 is you're gonna commit to one piece, just one piece of pillar content every single week. And I wanna hear from you. Are you creating pillar content? And if you are, what is your one pillar content that you're creating every single week? Tell me down in the comments because I want to check out your pillar content. So let me know, what is that one piece of pillar content you are or you're going to commit to creating every single week? Now that you know what your pillar content is going to be every single week, you need to decide what the goal is of each week's content. I have a goal for every single video that I create here on YouTube. And sometimes I do have a secondary goal as well. One of the biggest mistakes I see when it comes to a content marketing plan is that pillar piece of content tends to have way too many goals. And so you're throwing in too many calls to action and then nothing happens from that video, right? Or that pillar piece of content. You've thrown too many things at that potential viewer or reader and they don't even know what the heck they should be doing next. So some things to think about for your goal for every single video. Remember, just one of these is good, and potentially a secondary one is to subscribe to your channel, grab your freebie or opt-in, comment on your video or your post, share your video or your post, watch another video on your YouTube channel, book a discovery call with you, send you a DM. But the key here is to not throw all of those into one piece of pillar content. Remember, like I said, pick one of these and possibly a secondary one, because then you can ensure your content will work for you. For example, this particular video, I'm gonna tell you to watch another video at the end that I think is going to be very good to help you start creating a strong content marketing plan. I'm not gonna throw you anywhere else. I'm not gonna ask you to do 20 other things. I'm just gonna ask you to do one thing. Okay, so then the next piece of your content marketing plan that you really gotta commit to if you wanna be consistent is batching. Batching doesn't have to be something totally crazy like filming 10 videos at once, which I've done before, but I want you to pick what style of batching works best for you. For me, I love the camera, and filming these videos gives me more energy, and that's why I can batch multiple videos. But for you, showing up on a video could be draining, so batching multiple videos in one day may not be your style of batching. So when it comes to batching, I want you to think about what's gonna work best for you and your lifestyle. What I'm asking for here is for you to just have some type of system in place. So again, you can be consistent with that pillar piece of content. I have a client who does Marketing Mondays. Every Monday is the day she creates her content from filming that week's YouTube video. Yes, that's one YouTube video each week she films, or creating those captions for her Instagram or her email newsletter. But Mondays are her content batching days. I'm currently working more towards a Wednesday content day where I'm gonna batch as much video content as possible on Wednesdays for 2 reasons. The biggest reason is because Wednesdays is the only day there isn't virtual kindergarten. Therefore, I have the office to myself and I can actually film videos. And 2, That means I only have to do my hair and makeup and show up like this one day a week. So when I say I'm batching my video content that day, that means I may be batching multiple YouTube videos, maybe Instagram Reels, going live on Instagram, maybe filming course content. That is the style of batching that I will be doing as I go into January and February this year. There are some other tasks you want to think about batching too to make your content marketing plan easier to implement, like creating your graphics. Maybe you batch your YouTube thumbnails, maybe you batch your Instagram story posts, maybe you batch Pinterest images, right? But when you are focusing on one task and doing it over and over again, you're really gonna save a lot of time and get a lot more done, because when you focus on one task longer, that's where you're gonna see that productivity increase, instead of going from, okay, I'm gonna batch images, then I'm gonna batch captions or copywriting, then I'm gonna batch videos, or you do that all in one day. Your head has to adjust to all these different styles of tasks and you lose your motivation and your productivity. You can even start batching graphics one day, or batching copy one day, or batching scripting or researching in one day, okay? I would love if you could hit that like button now if you think you could start really implementing some type of batching into your schedule. Because now we're gonna move into why you need some type of project management system. As you can see, as you're creating content marketing, there's a lot of pieces that go into it, right? There's the research, there's the scripting, there's the graphics, all these pieces that need to fit together to make it work for you, right? So instead of keeping all of these processes or all these steps you need to take on paper or on a to-do list, I highly recommend creating a master to-do list inside of a project management tool like Asana, ClickUp, Trello, Monday. Honestly, any of these will do, so that you can duplicate that master list every single time you create a new piece of pillar content. Let me actually show you how I do this inside of the tool I use called Asana.
So this is Asana, and this is where I keep everything from my YouTube content. You can see I've kept all of my ideas over here. I'll just screenshot like video ideas that I have and keep them saved. I color code them as YouTube tips, or I think another one is business ideas. So that's how I keep things organized. Then I start the process. So any type of video that I know I want to create, I'm going to move in here to title and script. Like I said, batching is so important. So I will get about 4 to 6 videos here into title and script, and that's when I start researching them. That's when I start figuring out what are the keywords I'm targeting, what is the title I'm going after, and then I'll start writing those, which I'll show you what a completed video looks like here in a minute. Once I have titled and scripted, then I'll move it over here to record. Again, I'm all about batching, so I have batched all of these to title, and I've scripted all of them in a batch session. Then I'm going to batch record all of them. Again, I'll batch about 4 to 6 videos at one time, and then we move them over here into edit for my video editor to grab and start editing. If we go to this particular video that came out Wednesday, you can see inside of here I have the call to action. I'm sending them to that 90-day content plan. I have the text that I want on the thumbnail. I have the link to the Google Drive with all of my video files. You can see right here are all the video files for my video editor to grab. From there, you can see every single step that I've created and what anybody on my team needs to do as well. On down here at the bottom, you can see here is my script that I wrote. I have some direction from my video editor there. Again, I'm keeping this all organized so I can easily access it. On down here, I've also come up with the tags that I've used for that video. I've shot the thumbnail. I then did the Lightroom preset and uploaded it here for my graphic designer to grab as well, because I want to keep all of my thumbnails looking branded, looking the same. So no matter where you see my thumbnail on YouTube, you know it's this kind of white, bluish tint to that thumbnail. This is how I ensure, even if I'm a team of one, that I'm not missing any single step, because I have every single step mapped out here so I don't forget it.
Now, like I promised, how are you going to constantly come up with new content ideas every single week? Because if you're doing one piece of pillar content every single week, that's 52 ideas. Let me go ahead and share with you some of my favorite go-to places to come up with new content ideas.
So my first place to go to come up with ideas is always YouTube. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to search how to make chocolate chip cookies, and you can see I can create a video on how to create chocolate chip cookies without brown sugar, without eggs, in the microwave, without butter, without baking soda, with cookie mix, right? Those are all ideas that I could create all about how to make chocolate chip cookies. I also like to go over here to Pinterest. If we go to search how to make chocolate chip cookies, Again, they're going to give you some ideas right here, but what I really like to look at is the pins that show up. So the best chocolate chip cookies, world's greatest chocolate chip cookie recipe, bakery style chocolate chip cookies, best soft chocolate chip cookies, double chocolate chip cookies, whole grain oats, maybe an oat chocolate chip cookie. That's another great place to go. And then the last place that I love to go is to Answer the Public. Now, this is free for, I think, 3 searches. You get up to 3 searches. You can see some of the searches that I've done here. So if we add how to make chocolate chip cookies and we search, you can see what it actually does is creates this spider web of questions people are actually asking on the internet so that you can get some ideas. So you can see it came up with 80 questions, and we can see how can I make chocolate chip cookies without brown sugar, without eggs, without baking soda, without vanilla. You can also go to how to make chocolate chip cookies without brown sugars, how to make chocolate chip cookies chewy, how to make chocolate chip cookies that don't go flat, how to make chocolate chip cookie dough, how to make chocolate chip cookies soft. When you think about the types of content that you want to create, you could really spider web a lot of ideas from these 3 places. Now, the last place that I will go to that I love searching is TubeBuddy, and I'm going to go to the Keyword Explorer. This is going to be paid for version. When you see all of these results, you can use the free version and see the first 3 results. But if we go in here to how to make chocolate chip cookies, we can see some of the actual video searches, some of the web searches, video topics, how to make chocolate chip cookies, how to basics, web searches. You know, we saw this on Answer the Public, how to make chocolate chip cookies keep their shape, how to make chocolate chip cookies from scratch, easy. Another place I like to go to come up with ideas is common video tags. So I'll go through here and I'll see, okay, cookie recipe. Do I have another cookie recipe that I could create? Could I do a whole series on cookie recipes? Maybe could I do a BuzzFeed version? Maybe BuzzFeed did chocolate chip cookie version. Could I do that? Maybe a series on bakery style cookies. I could literally have a whole channel right now on cookies, Wilton cake decorating. So maybe I can share how to decorate your chocolate chip cookies. Okay. So again, these are just all different ways that you can continue to come up with ideas. When you do come up with one, keep them saved in your ideas over here in your workflow so that you can always come back to them and you never go to create content and don't have ideas.
Since we talked about batching earlier, I want to share with you exactly how I batch my YouTube videos, how I do a month's worth of YouTube videos in one day. So click that video that is on your screen right now. It will literally show you the entire process I go to for this batching process. Click on that video and I'll see you over there.